Let me take a big guess here. You've just come home from school and you're probably just busted a nut. And now you're searching onto YouTube how to solve your problem. And that's probably normal, because what was really the trigger to this happening? Yes, it was probably up in school and like your friend probably just like texted and searched upon some things on YouTube and Safari. And now he's showing it to you. The world of naked women. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. You probably know that it's not right to watch porn and masturbate to it, but let's be honest, you probably have a big addiction to it and you don't know how to remove it. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you here today. I'm a person who has been addicted to this shit for years. 3 years straight from my teenage years. I started at not really that early of an age, but I started and I couldn't stop. And that's why I want to share this information, because I felt like shit whenever I did it. And I don't want you to feel shit like I did. So I'm gonna just go straight into it. So how do we stop this? Well, first of all, there's the trigger. There is the moment when you feel like you want to do it. For me personally, it all started from when my friends up in class, and I don't blame them for this. It's just sad that people do this. But how it happened is that we were up in school, right? And just imagine you're trying to focus in class. Like, you're just trying to focus, like, and you already have like a short attention span, so you already have a hard time focusing, right? But then, of course, there's your fucking Jeffrey friends who sits right beside you or behind you, who just comes like, or tap you on the shoulder and be like, watch this. And what have they searched upon? Pornhub, of course. Yet again. They are sitting behind the class and searching for all the videos, and now they are sharing it with you because they feel like it's fun. And what are you gonna think about now? Now you're gonna think like, oh shit, I wanna watch that, and oh, I'm gonna go straight home and I'm just gonna beat my meat with it. Like, I'm just gonna beat my meat like a fucking little Jeffrey, bro. You shouldn't do that. And I'm gonna explain to you why. These Pornhub companies are doing something, like, of course, very bad. You already know this, but how are they doing it? The reason why it's bad and how they make it bad is because they share pictures and videos of naked women and men on the internet. And why is this bad? Like, we're gonna have sex anyway, right? But the problem is that these girls doesn't look natural. They're not natural. Like, sure, they're lean and all this, but the problem is that their boobs and ass has probably been puffed some fake into it. Like, it's just fucking plastic. Like, it's a fucking Barbie girl, bro. Like, it's like, it's not the real thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You shouldn't, because your brain will automatically think that this is your standards now. And second of all, you're not the one doing the woman. Like, you're not the one who's having sex with the woman. You're the one who's looking at another man taking your dream woman, which makes all things complicated, because now you're just the fucking monkey who sits in the corner checking it off to the dream man you want to be, who's doing your dream woman. It's not natural. It's not good for mental health. What's gonna happen when you finally have sex then? What's gonna happen? You can't get it up. Because you're not used to somebody actually having to touch you now, and you have to do it in real life now. So now you're kind of just AFK, because when you watch like porno, right, you feel so insecure, and like you're just sitting there, like, and you're not even breathing. You're just sitting and watching, and you're not even breathing properly, bro. You can't even breathe like a man. Second of all, is when you do this, you do what's called the death grip, which means that it's your hands that you're doing it with, which means that it will be a different kind of sensation than if you did it with a woman. The problem is, if you do it with a woman, it's not going to be as tight as what you can do with your hands. So this basically means that you will be used to a bigger sensation and a bigger feeling of pleasure, which means that when it's finally time and you're gonna do it with like your woman, and it's getting off fine enough and you get in, okay, but it gets soft under the way because it's not the same pleasure. So like, somehow, even though you got the goal that you wanted to obtain, which is a girl and having sex, you just can't do it because you are used to a different kind of pleasure. You're used to the death grip. Like, you can just press your dick as hard as you can. You just go at your own style and your own speed. Like, it shouldn't be like that. It's a huge problem. And these companies know what the fuck they're doing, bro. They know they're making you come like 3 times a day and having depression and want to kill yourself. Like, it's honestly like that. Like, they do it, of course, for the fame and the money. And these girls, the worst thing is that these girls probably don't even want to do it, bro. But they don't have a choice because they don't know what else to make money on. It's a sick world. It's a sickening world. By all means. And now I'm going to teach you something, which is why it occurs. And it's because of the trigger, which means the cue to it when it happens, which basically means that, let's say you go onto social media and you see a picture, right? You just go and you see a half naked girl, maybe do a TikTok dance or something like that, right? That will automatically trigger you to think, sexualizing. You're always sexualizing this woman and think about, right? So the problem is that can be the trigger. Personally, for me, that was the trigger. It was always the trigger when I scrolled on social media like a little monkey, didn't even breathe, probably mouth breathing, and then suddenly I saw a video, and now the trigger was there. Now I couldn't get it out of my head. Like, as soon as you have it, it's very hard to get it out of your head. So you want to avoid the cue, the trigger for it to happen. And that could be to every time you watch, let's say, a video. That's what I did. I just hold it in and said, I don't want to get shown this video, this kind of content. But there's a lot of different ways that it could happen. For example, with me, it was actually also being home alone, which means that whenever I was home alone, I felt the trigger to do it. So how do you avoid that? It's just being busy with something else when you come home. That's what I've done. I haven't watched any kind of sexualized content for 1.5 years, and I feel absolutely amazing. I don't have any thoughts in my brain that just suddenly occur. It's so amazing, so fucking amazing. I tell you, life is so good when you get rid of all that shit, because you finally feel present. You don't go around in like town, and when you see somebody, you just don't instantly. You don't think about sexualizing them. You don't just only think about fucking. Like, you can actually focus. You can be present on what they're saying. It's normal, of course, for you to have the desire to have sex, but you shouldn't do it in this kind of way. Like, you know what I mean? What you think about the 5 different positions that you're thinking about going through. It's not normal. It's not normal to do that. I really hope that you learned something from this video. I really hope that you will learn my lesson. What I do want to say, though, is one thing that you should absolutely not do is something a lot of people do, which is making a streak. You should not have a streak. If you have a streak, you're gonna fail. I don't mean that, like, it will be good in the start because it will be like a motivation for you to, like, okay, nice, I've held it a week, right? The problem with it is that, let's say you hold out 1 week, right? Which is better than what you've ever done. Like, you maybe only hold it out for like 1 days, right? Now you hold it out for a week, but you relapse. How are you gonna think about it? Because you were on a streak, right? And you ruined the streak. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like you were a failure because now you're back to 0. But actually, you aren't back to 0. You have actually just hold it out for like 5 more days or something. It's huge progress. So now you just gotta keep doing it. And that's the problem with having a streak. Because you're not gonna think rational. You're gonna think this stupid way of you actually failing, even though you actually did better than the next week. How you should think is that, let's say you have done it, count for like weeks or maybe months. So maybe, let's say, for every month, this month you maybe did it, let's say, every day. Let's just say the worst case possible, right? Like every day. Then the next month, then you just gotta do it 1 time less, or maybe 5 times less. That sounds pretty easy, right? That means like every second day I can skip, right? Even if you should fail, you didn't do it anyway. Any day, I mean. So that's huge progress. You should think about it more like that in a game. Like, it's so much easier because even though you fail, you still think, oh, I still did it better than last time. Okay, and I still have the other days. We are all good. It's a way more positive mindset, which will put you in a better position than if you think, like, oh, damn, well, I'm on 0, so why not just go for a fapping streak like 1, 2, 3 times this day, and now you're back to 0. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you will learn from my mistakes, and I just hope that you will stay consistent, and you will just try your best. You're gonna fail, remember that. You're gonna fail, but the most important thing is that you rise back. I cannot tell you how many times that I have failed, but gotten back up. There's lots of time where I hit the pressing point. It was literally, it took me 6 months to just quit from this thing, and that was from porn. I still masturbated just with my thoughts afterwards, but I quit it. I finally got rid of masturbation and Pornhub because I implemented these tips instead of doing the fucking streak. Absolutely amazing. You're gonna feel way more comfortable. Like, I can tell you what's gonna be so nice is that when people ask, like, to search maybe something on your phone, or just, can I have your phone to check something, you're not gonna feel nervous. You can just give it to them without having the feeling like, shit, are they gonna see like that I was on Pornhub 2 days ago or something like that. It's not a very nice place to be. Hope you will learn from my mistakes. Have a wonderful day.